question for you.
Yes.
So you remember back in season 4, episode 2, in the Bolton Theon scene? So why didn't Theon cut Ramsay's throat with the blade when he was shaving him?
I'm not sure.
He didn't have the balls.
See, normally you think about the fact that his penis has been cut up, but not his balls.
They took the pillar and the stones.
Oh yeah. Oh Jesus. Yeah. Didn't have the balls. I get it.
Anyway, hello and welcome to day 10 of the Genesis of Androzani Advent Calendar for 2023. We are doing Game of Thrones. We're on season 5, episode 7, which is called The Gift. And last time we had Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken, one of the most infamous episodes of the show, with the terrible Dornish fight, the raping of Sansa via Ramsay, with Reek on the watch, and we had Littlefinger being a dummy, making random alliances with Cersei for no reason. We had Arya leveling up and seeing the faces in the House of Black and White. And we had Tyrion and Jorah captured by some slavers and pirates.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a very... the first half of it was actually pretty decent, and the second half fell apart very significantly.
Mm-hmm. Not the worst episode of all time that some people say it is, but...
No, but it's down there.
It's down there. It's definitely down there.
It was not good. It was not good.
Yeah. So, your anticipations for The Gift?
I'm hoping it's better. I'm hoping it's better than the last episode, because surely it has to be. Because I don't think we're going to get consistently bad episodes of that quality just yet. The Gift, I don't know what to expect. If we're going to... Maybe if we stay away from Winterfell for maybe an episode or so. You know what's so strange? It doesn't feel like it's near the end of the season. We have 4 episodes left. It doesn't feel like the season is anywhere near to a conclusion. And that's sort of the first time I've felt that in the run of the show so far. So that's a weird feeling.
Well, by this time in season 4, we'd just had the trial.
Yes, it doesn't feel like we're in a point in the story of this season where we're like, okay, things are really starting to gear up towards where we're heading, where everything has been set up this season of where the short-term payoffs are coming. You know, it doesn't feel like that at all. Other than maybe the wall, but even then we obviously didn't have the wall last episode, so I don't really have that feeling with that either. So, yeah, I don't know what to expect with this episode. I'm expecting maybe Dawn to something might happen in Dawn, because all the characters, you know, are currently captured, including the Kryn squad. So maybe something will happen, and hopefully it won't be bad. But yeah, other than that, I have no idea now where the ramping up of the stakes is going to happen.
Well, in the last episode, we had no Jon and no Daenerys and no Stannis.
No. So maybe we'll probably get them this episode.
Possibly. I mean, we are getting.
If we don't get either of them, if any one of them aren't in this episode, 2 episodes in a row, that's pretty poor.
Well, I mean, The Gift, the title of the episode, geographically, that's just south of the Wall.
Yes.
So there we go.
Surely.
Yeah. So patreon.com/Genesis of Androzani if you want to see the full-length reaction. Anything else you want to say before we start The Gift?
No, I'm ready to go and consume.
I am in my new house, and it's very white in here. And
I'm in the same room. As you can, I'm in the same room. Nothing has changed on this end.
Haven't sorted out any of my clothes yet. That's why it's a mess back there.
More are still in my shelves, just depressed at where this show has even this season. It's very sad, I can tell.
Yeah. The thing is, it's some of it's been good, but yeah, it's just
there's some good stuff here. There's some good stuff.
Yes. Oh, and I forgot to mention, bloody Loras and Marjorie Tyrell got locked up by the Faith Militant.
Oh, fucking hell. Yes, they did. Yeah. They did do
And
that because
Cersei
one of
did
them is actually gay and lied about it, and the other one allowed it to happen and lied about it.
and Cersei did a smirk to the Queen of Thorns.
She loves smirking. She fucking hates her so much. And
Yep.
Tormund is continuing to be the king without really being commanding.
Yeah, Tommen Baratheon is
I'm very intrigued where his character's going to go. Because I know he's not in Season 8. I know he's not.
He's
I'm wondering what's going to happen to him.
He's the anti-Joffrey.
Yes, he is. I like the idea of there being a very big contrast between the two.
Did you ever think that, like, back when you watched episode 2 of season 1, you got that scene with the Lannisters at the table, Tyrion's talking about Dornish girls to Tommen and Marcella? You ever think that Tommen, that kid at the table, would be the king of Westeros?
No. No, not really. Even though, like, considering the things I already knew about the show, it probably should have been something that I had in my mind.
Do you remember
but it wasn't. You didn't even cross it.
Do you remember at the end of Blackwater when Cersei nearly killed him with Essence of Nightshade?
I do remember that. And they were saved by Loras Tyrell and
Tywin.
You know, Tywin. Yeah, that episode was really good. That's a really good episode.
Oh yeah, Blackwater is absolutely delicious.
No, I don't like it here.
Yeah, it's cursed now.
Mm.
It's been tainted. Don't like it here either.
No, it's just bad places.
And we don't like it here either.
I don't like it here either. It's just
really don't like it here.
No.
Damn you.
Oh no. Oh, this is a big episode then. Back of the wall.
Feels good, doesn't it? It's like comfort food.
Oh, they are covered in snow.
Yeah, winter is coming. So is Jon Snow gonna solve racism?
He's gotta dye his hair blonde first.
You make me sick, bastard. Yeah, you're right, there's a lot of snow.
I feel like that's the most snow we've seen at the wall. It's just covered. Very cool looking though. Snow settings always have quite a unique feel. You know. No, oh, never mind, we are at Winterfell.
The things this guy has been through.
For fucking 3 seasons.
I would say even before that, to be honest.
Yeah.
He was taken as a 10-year-old and changed his family against his will.
But in just everything that's happened in the last 3 seasons, everything has just crumbled.
Oh. Oh, you can hear that music again. It's not raining anymore, now it's snow.
Fucking hell.
Blizzard.
Yeah, he was never gonna do it.
Oh, that's a great transition.
That's very good.
Egg. I dreamed that I was old.
His name was Aemon Targaryen. He came to us from King's Landing. He was the blood of the dragon. But now his fire has gone out. And now his watch has ended.
One of the only characters in this show to die of old age. And not be murdered or die by illness.
He got to live.
Yeah, to over 100 years old.
You're losing all your friends, Charlie.
Our scouts report that Stannis Baratheon rides for Winterfell. He's a respected commander. Bastards can rise high in the world.
They can?
Like your half-brother, Jon Snow. Your northern friend.
Jesus.
Tough old bird.
Oh, fucking hell.
Start peeling them. But this one...
You're fucking crazy. Aha, here we go.
Very bloody cold. Not a good time to have a blizzard.
No, very poor timing.
What else?
Growing a bit of a beard as well.
All your life has led us to this moment. To this decision.
She's my daughter. Get out.
Oh, he's in a sticky situation.
Very.
Where you going, Nav? Aren't we better looking than...
Ugh. Fuck hell.
I killed a White Walker. I killed a Fen. I'll take my chances with you.
Hey.
Just a bit woozy.
The power balance at the wall is being severely shaken.
Yep. What's happens
All of-
when John's not around?
All of John and his mates are going to Hardhome. Mace Raymond's dead.
No, Sam, but your oath.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that the majority of women would want to do this after someone tried to
No.
rape them.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah.
Oh, but she's a wildling. She's a wildling. She's different.
There's a video game called Heavy Rain, and one of the characters in it gets attempted rape / murder, and then the next scene there's an option to have sex with a character and another, including her, and it's very strange.
I mean, if I just had someone attempt to rape me, I think having sex is the last thing I'd want to do.
Yeah, exactly. I
Because
get he was being heroic, but
Because that's how trauma works.
Yeah, she was attempt. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my.
It's quite funny though.
Fucking yeah, his reaction is very funny, but yeah, I'm not sure about that.
They meant well with that scene, but I don't think it works.
No.
Anyway, time for an auction.
He killed the great Khal Drogo in single combat.
No, that's not what happened. No, that's not what happened.
Sold himself into slavery.
He killed a follower of Khal Drogo. He's got a point.
Remember when he fucking killed that guy that tried to get at Catelyn in season 1? With a shield?
Yeah.
Fuck, that was brutal. The point of the shield.
That was.
Now, if you were to fight freedmen who would be paid a wage,
There's your wages, funny man. Should last the rest of your life.
Very different to negotiating in the West.
Yeah.
Oh my god, speaking of sex.
Can't they have him act? Because he's a really good actor. He's really good, and yet he's not doing anything. All he's doing is fucking Daenerys.
Fair enough.
I mean, yeah.
But he's not being used to his full potential.
Exactly, yeah. Trust me, when I get you watching Hill House, you'll see.
This isn't Daenerys, this is Emilia Clarke right here. She's just being funny.
Yeah.
You are a queen. You can do what you like.
No. I can't.
Then you are the only person in Marine who's not free.
That's a good line there.
That is a good line.
She is a slave to Marine.
I am a queen, not a butcher.
All rulers are either butchers or meat.
It's quite sexy for a terrorist, isn't he?
Find the high septon.
Oh, yes.
High sparrow.
There you go.
Bloody
Great
name
acting.
you've got.
It's
Yay.
not as good a name as...
You should have the decency to stand when you speak to a lady.
You should have the decency to kneel before the gods.
Don't spark.
That's a great line. That's a fucking good line. That's great.
You?
Hips.
Huh.
A man of...
The people always do the dirty work.
Spare me the homilies. I can smell a fraud from a mile away.
Useful talent? I imagine this is strange for you. And everyone you meet has a hidden motive, and you pride yourself in sniffing it out. But I'm telling you a simple truth. I serve the gods.
You live among murderers, thieves, and rapists. And yet you punish Loris for shagging some perfume ponce, and Marjorie for defending her brother?
Yes. Have you ever sowed the field, Lady Olenna? Have you ever reaped the grain? Was anyone in House Tyrell? You are the few. We are the many. And when the many stop fearing the few,
That was sensational.
That was an awesome scene. 10 out of 10.
I love her. I can't help her.
Alright, Tommen. Stepping up there.
I'll do everything I can to win her freedom and her brother's. Your happiness is all I want in this world. I know.
Manipulation. Manipulation.
Oh, Cersei is such a great character.
Manipulation on my own children.
And your sister. The moment you came into this world. My boy. My only boy.
Yes! That's so good! Oh, great cut.
Yep.
You look different when I left. You had
Much older.
more hair.
And more hands.
Has taken my life, but what does it
This is just the season of him singing.
And I've tasted the dawn.
That's his character.
Wife.
Good voice though.
It's against my code to hurt a woman.
It's amazing how many men we beat seem to have this code.
I didn't say you. I said Dornish women. I didn't say you. Well, now, in King's Landing, there was an absolutely gorgeous.
God. This is so cringe.
Yeah, it's just fucking come on. If this actually works, I'll be really pissed off. Because like Bronn is smarter than this. He is smarter than this. It's very clear what she's doing.
Dude, he's a fucking sellsword.
Come on. But he's not that stupid. Come on. Even I know. Like, if I was in this situation, I'm like, I know what you're trying to do. I'm not stupid. She got some fucking psychic powers through her naked body. Come on. Or was it the cut that he got?
My dagger was coated with a special ointment from Asher.
Oh, okay. So what was the point of
They called
the
it a long farewell. Takes time to work. But if a single
high
drop
blood pressure?
makes contact with the skin,
I don't know.
death.
If you remember, Oberyn's blade against the mountain had that on it.
Mm-hmm.
The only antidote.
God.
Don't drop it.
So she wants to hear him say it, but she doesn't care if he means it or not.
That can't be... Oh, fuck off. Why is that... What? What's the point of this scene? Okay.
God, that was cringe.
What was... No, but like, what was the actual point of that scene? To belittle him, I guess?
Littlefinger's brothel has been wrecked.
It was funny at first, and then it got really strange, and then very pointless.
A
I'm sorry about the locale.
No, you're not. Do you deny a part in all this?
Cersei summoned me to King's Landing. I dared not refuse her.
And what did she
Why?
want?
Any worthy fighters
Here we are, the fighting pits.
trying to make it to the Great Games. You will fight at the Great Pit of Daznak itself, in front of the Queen. So whatever happens, the gods have smiled.
Best win then.
You can clearly see she loves her husband.
Yeah. What a great relationship.
Or husband-elect, I should say.
The fucking Queen.
Stand up straight. She's there. Oh no, oh no, what are you doing? I'm sure she's going to be so happy to see you. Like, just so happy. Oh no. Oh god. Like, there's neck slices and then there's just neck, like, rips.
Neck carving.
Yeah.
But it's tradition. We must uphold tradition to keep the city at peace.
Yes, I'm sure this will do the job. Oh.
Your Grace, it is a tradition for the Queen to stay until the victor has emerged.
I've sacrificed more than enough for your traditions.
Fucking his star just pisses me off so much.
Yeah, he's really devolved as a character.
He's just so pathetic.
I remember he had that really good scene last season.
That's right.
Wait your turn, you piece of fucking shit.
Oh, here comes the Juggernaut.
Oh god, big old pile of blood.
Man, I wish Barristan was still here. He'd be great for this scene.
Yeah, he would. Not just for the fight, but, you know, for the characters. They've been really cool. Ooh. Lovely. See how good a fight can be when there's, like, not multiple cuts every fucking second? Oh, hello. Oh, thank you. That was a very strange interaction. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, what's our reaction?
Get him out of my sight.
I brought you a gift. It's true.
Here he is.
Yeah.
Hello.
Who are you?
I am the gift.
My name is Tyrion Lannister.
The gift.
Oh, not the end of the episode. You'd have thought that would have been like a end of episode stinger.
Oh dear.
Oh, here we go. Alright, this scene's gonna be quite savage, I imagine. Oh, she's so happy. She's so happy.
This is horrible.
God, I fucking love Cersei.
She's reveling in it. Oh.
My good. I had it myself for supper only last night. But I fear the faith has left reason behind. I know you did this. We are making every effort on your behalf. Leave. Yes. I'm afraid I must. My son needs me now more than ever.
Get out, you hateful bitch!
Sleep well, sister.
Oh, she's so happy. She's so pleased.
saw her?
Yes.
And?
Her accommodations seem sufficient. What happens to her now?
And he has much to say about you.
Move.
Oh, I recognise who that is.
Immediately.
She's from Sex Education.
Order her to let me go.
She's also in Ted Lasso, which I know her more famously for. Very good scene.
Look at my face. It's the last thing you'll see before you die.
Big stuff there. So, Mr. Callum, your initial thoughts on the gift?
That might be the best episode of the season. I think it definitely had some of the best scenes of the season. There was some really good stuff in this.
I'd agree with that. It's got some of the best scenes.
Maybe. It does. It definitely has the best scenes. And it probably had the... I would probably say it's definitely up there. Whether it's the best episode or not, I'm not sure. But there's only a couple scenes where my sort of issue detector really started to rise. But there was actually some really good scenes in this episode. And I think, especially in King's Landing, there were some really standout scenes that were, by large, the best scenes of the season so far.
Mm-hmm.
Some really strong performances and some really strong character work as well. And really good scenes between characters. Cersei in particular, I think, was probably the best character of the episode.
Yeah, she's so good.
Yeah. This was... Well, it was a lot better than last week. That's last episode. That's for dang sure.
Well, there's not much of an accomplishment, really. But...
No. But yeah, I actually really liked this episode for the most part.
I do think it had a few problems though, as does most of Get Season 5. It does have a few scenes that I went, oh, yeah, that's a bit shit. Let's start at the wall. Tormund Giantsbane is unchanged. As Jon Snow is about to go to Hardhome. Of course, Alistair Thorne cites this, so does Ollie and a few others. Sort of the story of the wall this episode was the change of the guard, really. And that because...
Yeah, with Jon not being there and his supporters, the castle, the wall / Castle Black is gonna... Yeah, it's not in a good way right now in terms of leadership. It's very much gonna get a lot worse than it was before.
Yeah,
as Jon and his supporters are away.
The only ones at the wall left that actually support Jon's opinions about the wildlings are Samwell and Gilly. That's it.
Yeah.
Of course, that's because in this episode we saw the death of Maester Aemon Targaryen.
Yes, we did. I thought every scene to do with him was really, really nice. I really liked every scene with him at the start of the episode.
Yeah, so in the books, Aemon goes on the boat with Sam, and he wants to go to Old Town, the Citadel where all the maces are, and he wants to find out what's going on with Dragonglass. And on the boat there, he dies. He dies on the way there, and they have to do a funeral for him around the Dornish coast, just before he's about to get to Old Town. But in the show, Sam stays at the wall for this period of time, and so they do a similar thing where Jon leaves and Aemon dies right after. And he does that whole thing of talking about his brother Aegon Targaryen, who was the king of the Iron Throne that Aemon was supposed to be, but he rejected it. He rejected the Iron Throne, which has kind of contributed to why he lived so long, really.
Yes.
Only character in this show to die of old age.
Yeah. Which is a very, very nice little thing. Yeah, like you talked about during the episode.
And he gets really frail and senile, and he has that almost vision back to the past where he's like, Egg, I dreamed I was old. And it's flashing back to something he said to his brother when he was a kid.
Yeah.
It was very nice, and I liked the detail of at the funeral when Alistair Thorne whispered in Sam's ear, you're running out of friends, Samwell.
Yeah. He's still terrible. He's still a terrible person, so...
Yeah. Gotta slip that blade in.
Yeah. But yeah, he's now officially dead.
Yep. And then after that, we have a scene where two brothers of the Night's Watch, who are very anti-wildling, try to rape Gilly.
Yeah, they did. They
and
did do that.
Sam and Ghost save her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't necessarily have a massive issue with that, but what I do have an issue with is what happens right after.
Yeah, it was, I very much thought the scene was going very well, and then they decided to bang. And it's, yeah, like you said, it's very strange to have a situation where someone's been attempted to be raped, and then the immediate scene after is them having sex. That is something that I just don't believe a person would do, considering I referenced a scene in a video game called Heavy Rain where that exact thing happens, and I find it very strange, as you are in a very traumatic situation where you nearly get raped, and then your immediate thought is to have sex with someone else that you care about. But when that's fresh in your mind, I don't believe someone would do that. I don't understand that. It's very strange.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think it's a very unrealistic thing. I don't believe that Gilly would want that after they nearly raped her. That's just not how it works.
She nearly got raped, so that means she's super ready for the sex. It's just like, come on, no.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's something that would happen.
That's like if someone attempted to drown you, and then all you want to do is jump in a swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it works.
Because it's a traumatic experience. Like, it's very traumatic being in that situation, especially like with Sam Neill being beaten to death.
It's that very cliche thing of my knight in shining armor has saved me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the damsel in distress, and now I will have intercourse with my knight in shining armor because he has earned it. It's like it's very cliche.
Yeah, I think it's very strange.
Yeah, so wasn't a fan of that.
No.
Yeah, but apart from that, the stuff at the wall with Eamon was the best stuff, really.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Also, the setting is like for it all. I thought throughout the episode was very, very lovely. It's very nice. I really like. Yeah.
They did a bunch of linking in the northern stuff in this episode, so not only did they have the snow blizzard consistent across the wall, the gift, and Winterfell, but also they connected the scenes with candles. So you obviously have Sansa's candle, but then you also have the candles by Aemon's bed. And that was a very good connection they made with a direction. There's a lot of there's quite a few mentions in this episode about characters needing to go south. Aemon mentioned it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so did the characters from the next part that we'll talk about at the gift, with Davos Seaworth, Melisandre, and King Stannis Baratheon. So the blizzard clearly has affected them because all their soldiers are freezing.
Storm has passed through.
Interesting fact, Darian Harris is part of the Stormcrows in the books, but they merged him into the Second Sons in the show, so the Stormcrows are actually in a different place geographically here, so they've decided to put them here.
Right.
Davos is concerned about heading forward to Winterfell, and Stannis makes a point as to why they can't, why they have to go forward, why they don't want to spend years at the wall, freezing in winter. How many years will that last? Stannis says it's either do or die. Take Winterfell or die trying.
Mm-hmm.
Davos clearly can read that the Red Woman has Stannis in the palm of her hands now. The other interesting part is talking about King's blood. The Red Woman is discussing using Stannis' daughter.
Yeah, there's a very interesting conflict. Considering how many stages he's gone through in terms of doing anything it takes to be on the Iron Throne, this might be... I'm interested to see if this is a step too far for him, if this is the breaking point. which I think is going to be if they explore it properly, it'll be very interesting.
There's one alteration I wish that, I don't know how to express it in this way, but I remember having a big issue with this back in season 3. I don't like that the reason why Stannis wants to have sex with Melisandre is motivated by attraction. I don't think that fits his character. I think the reason why he should be wanting to have sex with her is so he can birth a shadow baby to take power over something. Like, that is the motivation he should have.
Is there a strange part of his character that is, like, not really, like, involved with anything else that's about him?
It doesn't fit with his character.
It makes him feel very mentally, like, weak in a way.
Yeah, it should be
I
more
don't
like...
believe that's his character.
It should be more like, I am motivated to do this because it gives me some kind of advantage, as opposed to, I'm attracted to this woman.
She's very attractive.
Yeah. And the conflict shouldn't be, I want to have sex with you, and then she brings up his daughter and he's turned off. It should be more like, I feel like the only option left is we have to birth another shadow baby to get an advantage, and she says, there's only so many times I can do that before I die. And before you die. Yeah. Because in the books, when every time Stannis tries to use a shadow baby, he gets older. Like, he ages like 10 years up. Obviously in the show it's a bit harder to do that. But it should be, that is not the way you will die if you try and do it again. The only way is to use your daughter. That's what the conflict should be.
Yeah. I'm wondering where they're going to go next with this. And I'm more interested in the actual conflict of what decision he will make.
He's also grown out a Chad beard.
Yeah, because it's been some time since we last saw them. In terms of time.
Gotta keep warm in this weather too. So and it's funny because you'd think that the reason why this episode is called The Gift is because they were there at the gift, geographically speaking. But later in the episode, actually, it was a line of dialogue.
Yes, very, very cool. Very cool little, like, parallel there, in a way.
Yep. So, let's talk about Theon, Sansa, Ramsay, and Brienne.
Well, in terms of everything in Winterfell, I thought that the dialogue between Ramsay and Sansa was actually quite interesting in terms of her pointing out the fact that he is a bastard and also that Tommen is a bastard because of everyone learning about, you know, Cersei and Jaime. I thought that part was pretty interesting, and I really liked the conversation between her and Reek, and Reek's decision obviously not to do what she said and tell Ramsay, because, you know, that's where he is at the moment. And that's despite how much she's trying to push him to break out of this sort of like trance in a way, he just can't at the moment. There's nothing big changing him to get him out of it, which I find that's been very consistent with his character for the last season or so. And yeah, I think it's very, very interesting conflict to have. Also, the fact that, you know, Ramsay skinned an old woman to death.
Yes, the one that tried to help her with the candle.
Yes.
Of course, Reek did not help her. He lied saying he would help her, and then he handed it over to Ramsay.
Yep, just like he normally would. Reek in that vein, yeah. I think
he is so
makes complete sense.
He is so in fear of Ramsay that he lied to Sansa.
He was always going to go to Ramsay. I knew he was always going to go to Ramsay.
Yeah, as I said last episode, I just think Sansa being in this role is not the right choice. It's backwards for her character.
She's just every time it doesn't have the range, unfortunately.
They are making Ramsay just like cartoonishly evil, aren't they?
A little bit. It feels like there's been a weird turn since literally the end of last episode. Now he feels a bit more... It's funny, as soon as I say that this is sort of insanity character you do instead of like Sacha Dhawan and, you know, Jared Leto, he's slow. It's not as bad at the moment. It's not. It's on a different level, the other two. but he's slowly creeping towards just like, I'm insane and I do insane things. It's not as bad at the moment, though. I will say.
Yeah, there is rationale behind his decisions, at least.
It's trying to. What he's trying to do is just make Sansa so traumatic, like in a similar way to Eirich, where she just won't revolt in any way. That's sort of his idea, and I feel like they're doing that fine enough. I don't think it's not getting to crazy like insanity levels.
Do you think maybe part of the issue is that the intention with Ramsay in the books is he's supposed to have a really rotten face, but the actor's actually quite handsome, so he has to try and do some kind of expression with it?
No, I don't think. For me, I don't think that's it. It's what he's not doing. What I'm thankful he's not doing is he's doing the whole thing of killing, like killing his own men just because he's fucking crazy. He's not doing that kind of shit at the moment. It's just, I just think the ending of last episode has really just taken a turn of like, not just why.
I mean,
he is evil, and we know he's evil, but he's
He did kill his own men in season 3, but that was to mess with Theon.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That was
little
more to,
bastard.
that was more of a like him trying to just absolutely traumatically ruin him.
Yeah, and
It's not him just being like. It's not like a guard just talks up or something, or like speaks out of turn, and then he just fucking murders him. Or something like that. It's not on that level just yet, thankfully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have much else to say on that.
Yeah, so turns out that Brienne's plan did not turn out as she wanted it to.
No.
Let's talk about Marine.
Yeah. Okay. So.
We have an auction.
Yes, we do.
They auction off Jorah Mormont and Tyrion Lannister. That was quite a funny scene, wasn't it?
Yeah. I actually thought that was quite funny. I thought, yeah, him getting the upper hand and then whipping the guy holding him with the chain was quite funny.
Yeah, and then he tries to push his locket even further and he gets whacked in the face.
Yeah. Here's your wage.
Yeah.
Here you go. Yeah. And then before we get to the big scene, I guess, we had the Daenerys sex scene, which actually had like a couple of really good bits of dialogue.
Yes,
you're the only person in Marine, a slave, or like, you know, who's
that's not free. Yeah,
that's actually a really good line.
Yeah, that's an exceptional line,
and it's something that like I feel like I wish they explored more with Daenerys, because I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, that it's sort of her like the feeling that she still has for like, you know, Drogo, you know, in a sense, and sort of that kind of stuff. Why she cannot like or would not want to marry again.
Well, it's also probably because she doesn't see Dario that way. She doesn't love him. She lusts for him.
That too. He like he says, he's here to serve, not to suggest.
Yeah,
it's a lot of factors. I think, to be fair, I think I want it to be a bit more of a character conflict within her. You know, moving past that.
I can tell you from the point of view of teenage Daenerys in the books is that she has teenage puberty lust for him, and that's very clear. It's a bit muddier here, but you can clearly tell it's not love on her end.
No, it's not. And that's what I mean. I wish that was more of a conflict of like there being something more of like her moving on from like Drogo in a way. I wish that was more of the thing in the show as well, because that very much feels like that forgotten past of the show, and it's not really something she's gone over yet. We don't really reference that really. And I guess that's just in more problems with like Marine's storyline in general for the last 2 seasons.
One of the biggest things they cut from season 1 was when Drogo like made her this coat to wear. And she still like she keeps wearing it after after his death. And if that coat was significant to him, they could have used that.
Yeah. That's a great. Yeah, you're not wrong there. But yeah, even then, just stuff talking about like everything she's gone through up until this point just feels like it's not that much of a factor at this point in time. It's just, yeah.
So Darian Harris wants to kill all the masters, and Daenerys does not.
Yeah, of course. You know, I'm not a butcher. I'm not a butcher, she says.
Not a butcher. Not a butcher.
Yeah. No, not a butcher. Just don't bring any like ring bells near her, and then you'll be fine.
Oh my god. When we get to that episode, I've got so much to tell you about that. There's just so much. Oh, anyway, that's far in the future. Although not that far. But yeah, Jorah Mormont and Tyrion Lannister go to the fighting pits and clash at Daenerys. She's there, to Jorah's surprise, which is a great little moment when he realizes it's his queen.
That was pretty cool.
Of course,
he just goes to a rampage.
His Darzolurek is absolutely insufferable, talking about the tradition of the fighting pits.
Yeah, that's all his character is now, unfortunately.
Oh, he's so pathetic.
He's not really a character.
He was really good in season 4.
He had that really good scene in season 4 talking about, like, you know, his family and stuff.
I want my father to be buried with dignity in the temple where he belongs, not pinned up in the sun.
Yeah.
I want to bury his bones.
It's been downhill.
Yeah. Now he's just like, oh, tradition, my queen, tradition.
It's kind of like that, actually. Just my queen. it's akin slowly to where we eventually come to.
I mean, the thing is, his dad doesn't love Daenerys. It's a political move.
Yes.
And to be fair, he didn't really. He was cornered in a prison and proposed to.
She was. Yes, she was. Yes, he was, certainly. Yeah, but we then actually get a fight scene that's actually not terrible.
Yeah,
like it's not terrible.
Jorah Mormont destroys all the fighters with his Chad strength and then removes his helmet to Daenerys' disgust.
Yeah. Yep.
Get him out of my sight.
She actually showed good emotion there. I actually thought the acting there was pretty good.
Yep, Jorah has not followed the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, he has brought her the gift. That is Tyrion Lannister, the first meeting of Tyrion and Daenerys in the show.
Yes. A big moment, I would say.
Big moment.
Very
a
significant.
moment that has not happened yet in the books. So we're past that point now.
Oh my god.
Well, for Tyrion's character at least.
Funny. Yeah, that's funny.
We haven't chewed through all of Daenerys' character arc yet, but for Tyrion, we've caught up.
Oh god.
Yep. I'm sure that's going to go great.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty significant moment. And you thought that was going to be the cliffhanger, but something even bigger happened after. And so, with that said, let's talk about what I thought was the highlight of this episode, and that was King's Landing.
Oh, yes.
By and large,
this was
the
so
best
part of the episode.
So oh my god, where do we start? Okay, fucking
Cersei, I'd imagine.
No, let's talk about Lady Olenna and the High Sparrow.
Oh yes, that scene was awesome.
I expect you to stand for a queen. I expect you to kneel
You
before
should
the
have the
gods.
decency to kneel with the gods. Yes, that line is fucking awesome. You should have the decency to stand when you speak to a lady. You should have the decency to kneel before the gods. That's such a good line. That's such a good line.
They have an absolutely exceptional
so
argument.
Interesting.
Yeah.
His character is so like I thought this scene was fucking great because his character he's like, as he points out, your game is trying to get into the holes of people and expose them and use them for your benefit. But when you finally meet someone who literally is who they are, they serve the gods. Yeah. This was a really fucking good scene.
Yep, and then when the many realize that the few, we outnumber the few, and then he doesn't answer the question, he doesn't say what happens next, he just alludes to it.
Well, yeah, because you're meant to think about it. It's really good stuff.
I love the direction, I love the dialogue, I love the performances.
The whole direction of this scene and the lighting was so gorgeous.
Yep.
This is by far probably one of the best scenes of the entire season.
I like the way that she threatens, what if I take away all the crops and they all starve? And he says, have you ever reaped the grain? you know, and she can't say anything because she's never experienced what it's like to be working class.
Yep, she's very privileged.
So basically, the High Sparrow, the Faith Militant is a very violent union, is what it is. It's a religious union. And I love it how at every point she's trying to say, just admit that this is your ulterior motive. Because she's met so many people with ulterior motives, and he says, could you possibly imagine that there's someone in this world who does not have an ulterior motive that you've met? I serve the gods.
Yeah.
It was such a good scene.
Very good scene. He is amazing.
Exceptional.
As the High Scepter.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the best scenes of the season, for sure. This is like...
Absolutely.
This belongs in peak Game of Thrones seasons right here, this kind of content.
Oh yeah, this wouldn't be out of place in like any of the last seasons.
Absolutely. And of course we had another scene with Lady Olenna and Littlefinger in the brothel.
We did.
They discussed we killed a king together. It's just the death of Joffrey.
Yes. They did. And she, as always, she's great. Littlefinger explains, Cersei called for me and I dare not, oppose her. It's like,
I don't know about that.
Mate, really? It's like at this point you have to you're a character who eventually has to move up and has to make moves.
I don't know what kind of 3D chess he's playing here. It's very strange.
I don't get what he's trying to do.
It's almost like because Varys has left King's Landing, he has no one to play chess with, so he's playing it with himself.
Oh yeah,
he's playing chess with himself.
And also now Cersei's now in prison, so.
And he said to Olenna, I've presented a young man for you, and we don't know what it is, so we have to find out next time, I guess. But yeah, Littlefinger saw his brothel has been destroyed by the Faith Militant.
Then we get some very good scenes with Cersei.
Oh yeah, so let's talk about Tommen. Boy.
The actor for Tommen really gave it this episode. I actually was really impressed by him.
He showed little shades of Joffrey here, but he didn't go all the way with it.
Exactly, that's what I thought throughout that scene of like, while he is definitely more kinder, he's still a Lannister.
Mm-hmm.
He's still
Tommen, quote unquote, Baratheon.
Exactly. He's a Lannister through and through. He's still Cersei and Jaime's kid.
He's still a lion.
And still has that, and still is brought up by Cersei. So him having that in him is,
It reminded me of that scene in season 1 where Tywin says, "They have my son." It's like that kind of Lannister energy, really.
Definitely. Cersei's sort of speech to him of like pure manipulation, but with so much like she clearly is just like, the only thing I care about is my children, my son, my only son. That line itself is that is great because of how much she's lost.
There's truth to it, but there's also so many lies threaded throughout as well.
Yeah, manipulation. The manipulation was just on another level, really, with our own son.
Cersei, this whole episode has just stole the show. She's so good. Just so much sarcasm and gaslighting and just everything. Oh my god.
The manipulation and the gaslighting was insane.
Yeah, to her own little poor son. Her own son.
Her only son.
because she loves her son, but she also knows she has to play the game with the king as well.
Yes, if you play the game with him, you have a win or you die.
It's like she's talking to two different people, and they're both Tommen.
Yeah. What I liked about it was then we nicely cut to dawn to Jaime and
Marcella.
What's her name?
Yeah.
Marcella. In a scene that I actually thought was quite interesting. I actually thought this scene was like, in terms of like her perspective on all this, is very interesting to like discuss. Like, she has now lived here for many years. She's grown up. She's fallen in love. She's going to marry someone, and all of a sudden, oh wait, you're forcing me to come back now? From her perspective, she was sent there by Cersei. Yeah, I thought this scene was actually like pretty interesting in terms of like talking about perspectives.
It's because she's never. I mean, the only father figure she's ever really had is Tyrion. Because like,
but even that, but there's so much about her life now that's changed. You know, the people she's met in Dawn, and you know, obviously she's now fallen in love, who she's probably looked up to and learned things from during the years she's been away. Like she said, you don't know me, and that's very true because she left when she was very young.
That's right, and she left when he was in prison, far north.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
the last time they had seen each other was probably what, episode 2 of season 1.
Exactly. Oh yeah, it was like well into beginning of season 1. In terms of on screen, yeah, but even then, it's like it's been years since then.
Yeah, and now she's like thinking about marrying Tristane.
Well, yeah, as she says, she's going to, like, yeah, she's
what
that
means. What that means for Jamie, because obviously he knows that he's her father, you know, her real father, and she's saying that to him, you know, you don't know me, and that expression from Nikolai Coster-Waldau, the way you can see the pain in his face hearing his daughter say that to him, and he knows she's right, but he doesn't know what to do about it.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Going back to Cersei though, we have a couple more scenes with her. The first one is when she visits Marjorie in prison.
This scene was great.
That scene.
This scene was great. She absolutely relished in this. Just everything. Her Marjorie finding in her eyes, getting what she deserves, like in every way. Just being absolutely broken in a horrible, shitty, infected cell. Like you can just for her performance. You can just feel and see all of the absolute glee in her quote-unquote acting from Cersei. It's quite wonderful. And her smirk when she leaves is fucking priceless.
Yeah. And I love the fact that when she leaves, she says, "Sweet dreams, sister."
Yep, after being called a hateful bitch.
Yep.
Little lines of like, you're upset, you're not thinking clearly. I do hope you change your mind about that.
Oh my god, the sarcasm is
very wonderful. But yeah, very wonderful. Very wonderful. But then
immediately after she gets her comeuppance. She gets her comeuppance from the High Sparrow.
Yeah, consequences.
So they talk about. Yeah, they talk about, you know, the mother's mercy, the father's justice, about the Tyrells. He explains where that table comes from. It doesn't have a name on it because it doesn't have vanity on it, unlike the statue of Baelor. That's what the faith militant, the High Sparrow, you know, the Sparrows represent is it's about the many, not the few, which is consistent with that scene with the Queen of Thorns. Talks about the table doesn't have names on it because it's made by people who don't believe that their name matters. It's about the actual meaning behind what it is they built. And then, of course, he brings out Lancel Lannister and mentions, "He's told me a great deal about you." And just that look on the High Sparrow's face when Cersei's taken away is just absolutely incredible acting from Jonathan Pryce. There's so much going on behind those eyes. And what I love about his performance as the High Sparrow is that he really makes you question whether he has an ulterior motive or not. If he really is just serving the gods, or if he's using the gods to his advantage.
It's very interesting. His character is so interesting.
It's a very unique way to play the Game of Thrones.
Yeah. And the performance from it is fucking great.
So now that Cersei has been thrown in prison and Marjorie, what is Tom going to do?
I'm very interested to see what he does.
I also love, and this is the actress who plays Septa Unella is the same actress from Sex Education. She's the stepmom of Jackson.
Yeah, she is also, as I said, in Ted Lasso, I think more famously in Ted Lasso, where she plays the owner of the football club. And she's very great in it. She's awesome in Ted Lasso.
Yep. I love the line from Cersei. She gets put in the prison. She says, "Look at my face. This is the last thing you see before you die."
She's now going to kill them all if she can.
Yeah.
And I guess that's sort of the really end of the High Septon and Cersei sort of quote unquote friendship. It wasn't really a friendship, but
it's interesting because
I
Cersei,
thought all their scenes together were really great.
It's interesting because Cersei put him into power.
Yep, exactly.
And now he's taken it away from her.
Because yes, very much so.
Absolutely brilliant.
Very good
loved King's Landing in this episode.
Awesome stuff, King's Landing. Very good.
Though we have one more scene to talk about, unfortunately.
Yeah, this scene was very strange.
We have a scene with Bronn and the Sand Snakes in prison.
What did this mean? What was the point of this scene? I don't know what the point of this scene. Yes, it was cringe, but like, surely what was the point to make him feel belittled because I infected you with a poison sword?
So she clipped him with her blade that had the venom on it, and it just so happened to affect him right at the point when she started flirting with him.
But she knew though. She knew exactly. But again, it doesn't fucking mean anything. But it's like, what's the point of this scene? I don't understand why they did this. Is it just to be funny?
And then she gave him the only antidote in the world that instantly healed him.
Does she mean the only in the world, or the only way to heal yourself with his antidote? I thought that's what implied from it.
Whatever it is, it's the only antidote to what he has going on.
Yeah.
And she gave it to him because he admitted that she's the most beautiful woman in the world. But like, surely she would know that he doesn't actually mean it. He's only saying it because he's desperate to survive.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the point of the scene.
Also,
My issue is the point of the scene. There's no point to it.
Also, he's a fucking sellsword. What is he doing here? Oh, but
I think Bronn is smart enough to not fall for that. He's smart enough to not. It was so patently obvious what she was doing. I feel, it's like he's not that stupid.
Yep.
He's not a stupid person.
Obara and Nymeria are just background extras, just reacting. Yeah, no, this was a shit scene.
No, which is yeah. I didn't get why that was. Yeah, it was so weird. Yeah.
Very strange. Oh, yeah. The thing is, there's something good within this Dawn thing. There's something there. It's just not coming together,
definitely.
right? All right. The episode received positive reviews. It said the gift is a jam-packed installment that delivers a long-awaited plot, turns into a satisfying manner, even though it continues a disturbing theme from the previous episode.
Yes, it did. It did do that.
Described as terrific, exciting, intense episode, but he questioned both the anemic Dawn storyline and the gratuitousness of Tyene exposing her breasts in the prison scene.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
It was written by Dave and Dan, probably no surprise given their track record with sexual related scenes and what they are like with that. What Dave and Dan are really good at is doing one-on-one character dialogue between older characters, seemingly. They seem to have a knack for that.
Yeah.
And like really small scenes that don't impact the plot. They're just really just there for the characters. They seem to be quite good at that. But then they also aren't good at it as well, evidently.
Yeah, they did half good job, half weird stuff going on job.
It's always Dave and Dan that makes Stannis perverted, and I don't know why they do that. It's just a strange thing.
I don't get that angle with his character. It does not feel in tone with what his character has been built up as.
He's supposed to be very by the books and driven by any means necessary, and there is an element of that, but then they add these weird little quirks to his character that just don't feel right. Very strange. I will say, though, Miguel Sapochnik did a fantastic job at directing this episode. I thought it was a really good looking episode overall.
Definitely. I definitely would agree with that.
I mean, especially the Sept of Baelor scene. That was just incredible. All the scenes of the prisons. The way they directed the fight pit scene as well, with Jorah looking through and realizing. That was really well directed. The snow over the north was well done.
Oh, he was beautiful.
And the big zoom up to Aemon Targaryen as he's about to die was very captivating.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So real big thumbs up for direction for sure. The music by Raymond Javadi. I feel like this episode was pretty quiet on music overall for the most part.
It was. I think the ending and some stuff in Winterfell. I think I remember the music more. You know, when Reek supposedly went up the tower, I think the music there was very, very good because it was harking back to his scene of beheading.
Yes, but this time it's snow instead of rain.
Yes. Very good though. I really enjoyed the music whenever it was heard.
And they played good music during the Aemon funeral scene as well.
Yes. Very beautiful.
Speaking of, our first track is called I Dreamt I Was Old. Oh, lovely.
Nice little turn there at the end. Sort of a bit after the line. You're running out of friends.
That's correct. Yep, fitting song to send off Maester Aemon. Nice, grand, old song, you can tell, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very, very lovely.
That's correct. So, our second track is called Throne for the Game. It was like a voice version of the theme.
Yes, it was. Very much that. Yeah, very, very lovely.
Definitely fits the tone of the season, I'd say.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, what they're going for, at least. So, to sort of give you an idea of what Sam and Gilly's sex scene is their first time they have sex in the books is that instead of it being at the Night's Watch with a bunch of guys trying to rape her and then goes save her, and then they do it after, what happens is they're on the ship in the ocean, and the ship rocks around, and basically they crash into each other, and he holds her in his arms, trying so that they don't hit each other. And then Gilly just suddenly has this like epiphany, well not an epiphany, but she has this feeling. And then she like starts kissing him. And like, yeah, that's kind of how it happens in the books, is they get into a storm.
That seems a bit more, that feels a bit more fitting.
That seems a bit more realistic than, you know, what happened in the show with the rape attempt. There's a lot more confidence in Stannis going south in the books than there is in the show. The show is very much portraying it as some people have lost faith in him. You know, they can't really see the road forward. I think one of the biggest things they're not doing is showing you that he has a plan in place. I feel like he's just really desperate.
Yeah.
You know, he's not trying to think of tactics. He's just saying, this is the only option we have left. And he's being tempted with something he doesn't want to do. Also, I just want to point something out. Marcella says she's been in Dawn for years, right?
Yes.
She got sent there in season 2, episode 6.
She did, yes.
Gilly's baby was born season 3, episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're on season 5, episode 7, and Gilly's baby is still a baby.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, in terms of time, I don't think it works out just right, I don't think.
How do we feel about Ramsay discussing Stannis' tactics with Sansa?
I'm not sure if we would do that. I don't know. I mean, it's just explaining, like...
I guess in this case, it's overconfidence, maybe?
No. I don't think... The idea would be that she doesn't really have any power to do anything.
Daenerys and Dorian Harris in that sex scene, they mention that she is facing enemies within and without Meereen. In the novels, while the attacks of the Sons of the Harpy are an ongoing problem within Meereen, Daenerys is also threatened by the slave masters from Yunkai who reasserted control over that city. So there's a slave trade outside of Meereen in Slaver's Bay. It's sort of like, overall, it's sort of amplifying the overwhelmingness of it. The last episode, the viewership rating was 6.24. And the highest of the season was 8.0, which was the first episode. This episode, The Gift, so what was it again? I just said, I'm Bound and Bent and Broken at 6.2, right?
Yeah.
6.2 million. The Gift was watched by 5.5 million.
Yeah, they had the drop off. Yeah, I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
Quite, you know, it's still worth a 5 million, but it's quite a significant drop off of the last episode.
Yep, nearly a million people dropped off after that.
Nearly a million people. Yeah.
The backlash to the rape scene, and obviously the Dornish stuff was dumb.
Now I'm wondering, will it go up next episode after what was quite the ending, with Tyrion meeting Daenerys for the first time, and Cersei thrown in jail? I imagine those things could be enough to hark, you know, people back in and get it over 6 next episode.
Yeah,
that's my thinking.
Very interesting. This has been the most interesting season so far when it comes to the actual viewership ratings.
Yeah. So I wasn't really expecting this, really.
Seems like some people actually have sense. It's not to do with holidays, it's to do with the quality of the show reflecting in the ratings, which is something that is not that common in television, but it is here. Because it seems like the quality of the writing is what is one of the reasons people really like Game of Thrones, at least at the time.
Yes, that's what it's famous for, let's be honest. It's not because, it's so funny. And of
course, you know, because the acting and the direction as well, and the music. But
exactly, yeah.
The writing is what holds it together.
It's quality that makes it famous.
Yeah.
In both directions.
That's correct. Famous and infamous. So, give your conclusion and rating out of 10 for The Gift.
This was, I would say, one of the best episodes of the season. I don't know if it is best episode or not, but it had some of the best episodes of the entire season for sure, like top 3 for sure. And that's a high bar in terms of being the absolute best of this season. Yeah, oh god, what is the highest rating I've given this season so far for an episode?
That's a good question. Sure. I can't remember. I think it was Kill the Boy, probably 7 or 7.5 or something like that.
Yeah. I would say I will probably give this a 7 out of 10 because I think the very, very good scenes were very good, like, and with some excellent dialogue and excellent character work. And if it would probably be an 8 if the stuff with Gilly and Sam was a bit better translated.
And the stupid bronze scene. Fucking hell.
Yeah, the stupid bronze scene. If that actually had a point, just other than get ill, add the antidote.
Yeah.
But everything else I thought was either to a good standard or a very good standard.
And if King Stannis didn't leer at the Rebelman's ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if every scene was good, it'd be up there.
It was so avoidable. Such an avoidable detail as well. This episode overall was actually quite good. I think 7 out of 10 is a decent bar because that's the same as Breaker of Chains. Breaker of Chains is a mostly pretty good episode, but it's upset by, the rape scene in the Sept of Baelor. Funnily enough, this episode gave us a really good scene in the Sept of Baelor with the High Sparrow and Olenna.
It did.
Most of King's Landing was great.
Excellent.
The only thing that was a bit off was Littlefinger's character, but that's been the whole season. Cersei was the highlight. She was incredible. Olenna was great. The High Sparrow was great. Tommen was great. Marjorie was great. Then, of course, you had Jorah, Tyrion, Daenerys. That stuff was all good. I think the Jorah Mormont part of it is my favorite thing about it. But I can't say the same for Hizdahr. Hizdahr is just pathetic. Dario had some good lines, but, I still think there's higher potential for him. Overall, as a character, the Dawn stuff, the Jaime Marcellus scene was fine, but the Bronn Sand Snake scene was stupid. The stuff with Jon at the wall was fine, setting up things to come. With Sam, him defending Gilly is fine, but the sex scene is just a bit blech. But the Maester Raymond scenes were great. And then, of course, you had Stannis, Davos, and Melisandre at the gift. There's some good stuff in there. There's some not so good stuff. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Winterfell, you get the whole thing of the candle not working, Reek lying to Sansa and then turning his back on her with Ramsay. Again, there's some good stuff in there, but it's also just very strange. It's just a weird character arc for her. Just sort of coming off the last episode. Yeah, I'll give this a 7 out of 10. I think it's more good than it is bad. Some of the best scenes are great, but there's also just a few issues here and there too. I think it's still struggling in a lot of areas. Unfortunately, that's the gift. 7 out of 10. So, next time, episode 8, we have Hardhome.
Well, I imagine if we spend time in King's Landing, the development is going to be very interesting with Cersei and potentially Tommen and what he will do now that he's pretty much on his own in King's Landing in terms of people guiding him. And then obviously you've got Tyrion and Daenerys finally meeting for the first time. But other than that, stuff with Stannis as they continue ahead to Winterfell. That's eventually, I imagine the battle is going to happen at some point this season. We've now got 3 episodes left. So next episode might be crucial in terms of that potentially happening. Yeah, that's pretty much what my thoughts are right now in terms of what we could be getting next episode.
It is weird to think we've only got 3 episodes left, eh?
Yeah, again. Yeah, very strange. Yeah, I guess that's what we have looking forward to.
Would you say it's concerning in that you might think it's a bit rushed, like going forward towards the end of it? The fact that we only have 3 episodes left.
Yeah, it's just this other than probably the last scene of this episode, it's probably the most I've felt, something's actually going to be happening. We're getting close to the end and big things are going to happen in King's Landing. Other than that, nothing else. Other than bits of Marine with Tyrion being there now. But that's not that... It's significant, but it's not in terms of like the short-term payoffs, of what this season is going to be about, really.
Yeah, it's all very weird. We'll see you next time for Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 8, which is called Hardhome. I bid you adieu, a good night, and a goodbye. Bang.